Ladies and gentlemen, TAPA EMEA welcomes you to Amsterdam. It's time to be TAPAized.
Welcome to the TAPA EMEA Conference here in sunny Amsterdam. We will spend the next 1.5 days really together with more than 500 industry experts to discuss supply chain resilience. We have an amazing lineup of speakers and panelists.
We're going to be hearing from experts from Amazon, BASF, BioNTech, Blackstage, Forensics, Bosch, Desigual, DHL, G4S, HP, IRU, Lawrence Logistics, Polska, Multi-Protection, Overhaul, Philips Morris International, Risk Intelligence, Samsung TT Club, Unilever, and ZF Group.
So in 2016, we were sitting in a nice hotel in Düsseldorf and we discussed what do we need to do to transform TAPA from a really association which is 100% based on volunteers into a very, very professional driven organization with people working for TAPA, driving TAPA and be TAPAized. We had a lot of plans and we had a lot of ideas, but of course we always needed your support. And what is the most important thing, you gave us the support. And we have the strongest basement ever in the history of 25 years of TAPA.
It's hard to remember a greater time of risks to global supply chains. We live and work in a volatile, uncertain and disrupted world. The global pandemic has finally eased, only to be replaced by a war in the EMEA region. The rise of activism, staff shortages in key industries, and of course, rising levels of cargo crime. Everywhere we look, we see the resilience of businesses and their supply chains tested like never before.
Cargo crime is increasing. And it's not only cargo crime. It's really that the impact on your supply chain is increasing significantly. And I'm still very proud and extremely proud to say that TAPA EMEA and TAPA is the only association which provides you an end-to-end supply chain. We have the manufacturers, the shippers, the logistics service providers, ocean, rail, air, insurance, retailers, because we connect the dots and we mitigate the risk to the minimum level within your industry. We are creating and we are building a bigger TAPA EMEA family.
We are the service, the TAPA EMEA Family is a service, and we ride a fantastic wave at the moment. And let's enjoy that we are in the middle of a wave in the ocean, and that supply chain after the corona is on the eye of everybody in business life. For me personally, it's an honor and a privilege that all TAPA EMEA members, and especially your chosen board, have given the professional team the trust to keep TAPA EMEA riding the wave.
The personal relationship that it builds and allows and enables, and I think this is one of the greatest benefits that you as a member can get from TAPA.
So the biggest challenges for transport operators today are in the social field, environmental field, and digitalization. Who is responsible for all of this if things go bad?
Businesses are being tested like never before, bringing untold and constantly changing demands to the resilience of global supply chains. So what's it like to be the front line of managing these risks, and what do customers now expect from their global logistics providers?
This is the key setting that I wanted to bring forward, right? The rate of change. If shops are closed and people are at home, the only way to purchase products is to sit behind your computer and click stuff. That is the true e-commerce heaven, right? But it wasn't. It wasn't because many players in the e-commerce industry weren't prepared for the logistic issues that they were facing during COVID times. This market disruption also caused a situation where now logistics and planning and contingency is on everyone's agenda. Logistics is sexy again after COVID.
Actually, why supply chain is important, because it's important to the customer. If the customer receives a defective brand from manufacturing, that's one part of the problem. But if it receives its brand late or the brand isn't on the shelves, that's another part of the problem. And that's why supply chain security and any breakdown in that chain is very important to us.
The problem is speed. The problem is cost and the ever-changing environment in which we are operating. We should never forget that everyone is looking for the weak link. We need to learn more. We need to be innovative, disruptive, and that's also what the expectation from us of forums like this is.
Sustainability is a key topic. Most probably you've spoken yesterday about security, resilience.
To every complex solution, the proverb says there is always a simple solution that doesn't work. But I'm a strong believer in the fact that there is always also a simple solution that does work.
This is why we have embedded the TAPA standards within our supply chain standards.
Growing up, I was a weird kid. See, no matter what I ever did, all the normal guys would never quit poking fun at me. But so what? Sure, I'm a little different from you, but I don't really see the issue. So don't go frittering away your sympathy. There ain't nothing wrong with me. I consider it good luck that I was born estranged. I consider it good luck that I was born estranged.
The objectives that we have is to review the standards as they are. Most important part is that we look at the world. What is that we see today, how criminals attack your freight? Is that covered in one of the requirements we have within TAPA, or do we need to add something? Do we need to change something? And we get that feedback from auditors, we get that feedback from you as members, we get that feedback from law enforcement. And based on that, we make judgments how to build it stronger and more robust to secure your supply chain.
Organization needs to understand it is pay me now or pay me later. If they don't want to pay now for security, they will pay later in shrink and losses. And we need security professionals to be able to convince them and to show them the picture.
Data. So data obviously helps you to achieve full visibility in terms of what's going on in the supply chain, whether it's transport, whether it's units that you're transporting, such as containers, pallets, packages. One of the customers I've got right now is using machine learning to understand the key drivers beyond theft.
The big problem that we see, however, is it has to be cost effective. We heard in the previous presentation also about efficiency, about what we have to measure everything that we do against costs. And the big thing that deters an effective deployment of parking solutions, for example, is that you have to use system over system over system. There's 1,000 different systems. Each of one of them is very good for the particular use case, but for the people that have to use it in the operational side, it becomes extremely difficult and sometimes frustrating to use them next to each other. But if we don't connect the dots, then we end up with this situation, and the criminals are putting the dots back together, and it's much better to spend 20 euros in the beginning, ensure that it's adhered to, get the data, and then later avoid thefts. Our vision is it has to be easy to plug and play these different things together. That means more than just providing somebody an API and say, eat or die, which is nice if you have plenty of IT capacity. But I don't know about all of you, if you have all these IT departments idling, we don't.
What are you waiting for? The benefits come as you are part of the process.
Chameleon carriers are one of the latest challenges to supply chain resilience. But a more long-standing headache for the logistics industry and its customers is the lack of truck and trailer parking, particularly in terms of security.
We place great emphasis on safety, and all of our tractors and trailers are equipped with the highest standard equipment. Plus, our drivers are regularly trained from the security measurements. Unfortunately, having a fleet with a high standard of security and perfectly trained drivers doesn't make us 100% sure that cargo of our clients is 100% safe. We need also infrastructure, namely safe parking lots.
There are 300,000 parking spots in the EU, not safe and secure, 300,000 parking spots in the EU, and 100,000 missing.
If parking spots have a TAPA certificate, it guarantees the quality of service provided.
Over 500,000 missing drivers now, and because it's an aging population with very low new entrants, we are forecasting around about 2 million missing drivers by 2026. It's everybody's problem, because if we don't have the drivers, nobody can carry the goods. Over 75% of land goods transport in the EU is trucks, so we can't do without them. What is the solution? Improving driving conditions, I'll go again, but also third country drivers. That's why there must be a mind shift, a change, to see in these people not criminals, not people who do not speak our language, but people who move our goods. And without them, we can't do.
You have to join just one conference and you're going to leave TAPAized.
The risk is changing, criminals are changing, technology is changing. Our trucks are getting better, more secure, people are getting better, driver training, and so on and so on. So this is interesting to see that. Okay, and that's important to understand where's now the risk transferring to. So what are the criminals doing? What is the next weakest link within your supply chain?
Come and see it for yourself. Try it out, get a real feeling, and talk to people that are already part of that community, because they can give you the best insight.
Socialize, network.
It doesn't matter if it's manufacturers, if it's logistics service providers.
Vendors, but also the suppliers, but also the peers.
It's for the members, it's for the exciting presentations.
There's a lot of potential to cooperate, to learn.
That's an integral part of the culture of TAPA.
Let's work together and be disruptive, because we have a shared enemy.
We have to transition from yesterday to today and think of tomorrow and be very adaptable and resilient.
Let's fight against the criminals targeting our supply chain.
As we accelerate into the future of supply chain resilience.
Hit it, boys.
I'm TAPAized.
I'm TAPAized.
Totally TAPAized.
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 How can you not be TAPAized?